Perhaps you can hear some of the noise that is going on out there. And it's quiet now compared to what it will be or what it has been the last few hours. There's construction work going on outside my home. Not right outside, it's the other side of the wall. I have one of the corner spaces in the front of the mobile home park, and just other side of the wall, they're redoing the road. What they're doing is they're tearing out part of the road. They're going to put in narrower lanes. They're putting in a new island down the middle, and then they're going to put a dedicated 2-lane bike path along the other side with a barrier in between the bike lanes and the cars, because up the road here there's a school, and it's maybe a mile up the road, and this is a big residential area, especially across the street, and they want a dedicated bike path that goes all the way up to the school, which is nice. I think it's a good idea. I rode my bike to work every day for 24 years, unless it rained, in which case then I drove, but I like biking. Anyways, I thought what I would talk about, there goes the noise. I can actually feel the place vibrate a little bit with that noise. What that's doing is it's some kind of a compression thing that's compressing the ground, the dirt and the gravel where the road is going to go in, and then they're going to be putting in some asphalt in. Once they get this section done, then they'll move up to the next section, and then they'll be further away. I won't have as much noise as I have now, and then I can get back to doing cooking videos, which is okay because I've got more than a dozen cooking videos that are done, but I never put them on YouTube. Some of them go back quite old, so anyways, I can use those. I wanted to talk about a couple of dumb things today that I did. Okay, first of all, I'm sure you can't see it very well, but up there's light coming in, and it's from a skylight that I have up in the roof. This is a somewhat older mobile home, and it's equipped with a big square opening up there, and there's even an electrical box, an outlet up there for a rooftop air conditioner. I went on the internet and I found some pictures of some old mobile homes, one of which had a rooftop air conditioner on it. My home doesn't look like that, by the way. I live in a nice double wide, really nicely fixed up. It's a nice home, nice looking home. And anyways, when I moved in here, that skylight area, that opening, was covered with a plastic cover that the sun had gotten to, and it had caused it to get brittle, and it cracked and it leaked. So what I had done was I made a skylight cover for it, but using clear plastic. I think it's sort of like plexiglass, but I think it's polycarbonate. Anyways, it was a clear plastic sheet, maybe a 1/4 inch thick, that was supposed to be, and so far it's been good for more than 20 years, supposed to be UV resistant. The sun's UV rays can't cause the plastic to deteriorate. And I made a aluminum frame and it's got a hinge on it, and there's a crank that's up there to open and close that skylight, and it's skylight rather. And it's nice because in the summertime I can open that up, run the window fans, and they're bringing cool air in from the outside, and any warm air rises, is going to go out the top of my home. It keeps my home cooler, so I don't have to use the air conditioner as much. However, to do videos 6 years ago, maybe going on 7 years ago, I covered over that skylight because the light in the back, a friend and I thought conflicted with the video. Now I don't care. I've been on YouTube for 7 years. If people want to unsubscribe because there's a little bit more light in the back, please unsubscribe. Anyways, they're not going to unsubscribe for that reason, but I'm going to leave it uncovered because I like it. But when I uncovered it this past week, what I found was that there was a screen up there, bug screen, had the heat and the light had gotten to that and caused the plastic to be all brittle. It had broken and had fallen down. I had to make a new screen. Well, I have screening material. I have the screen fabric itself. I have the aluminum framing and the beading that holds the screen to the frame. I have all that because when I moved in here, I rescreened all my windows, and this was leftover material that I had. Been out in the shed for years. So I made my own screen to go up there. Well, it's kind of high up, and I was able to do some of the work standing on a dining room chair, but when I went to fasten the screen up, that was just a little bit too high. I needed a little more lift. And I've got a big, huge step ladder. It's one of those folding ladders that goes up, I think, 12 feet out in the shed. But I was too lazy to go out to the shed to get it. I should have. But what I did was I stacked 2 milk crates, one on top of the other. And that gave me the lift that I needed, the height, to get up there. And it was fine. It worked for 3 of the 4 screws that I needed to put in to fasten that screen into place. When I was doing the 4th screw, the whole thing collapsed and I fell. I wasn't up too high. I was up 2 feet. It wasn't too bad. And thankfully, no broken bones. I suffered, let's see if I can show you this. I suffered a bruise here on my arm, and the worst place for a bruise, because you know how when you're sitting in an office chair, it's got arms on it, and you've got to put your arms on the arms of the chair. Well, that's right where that bruise is. And it was like, how? Kept getting reminded how stupid I was. The weird thing about it, though, jet going by, the weird thing about it, though, was that how quickly it all happened. I got to tell you, as I get older, I think my mind is slowing down. It's getting slower. It's like I watch the news. I'll watch like MSNBC, but I can't watch Chris Evans because he talks too fast. This is what Donald Trump is doing in the White House today. It's like, what did he say? What did he say? I feel like the cowardly lion in Wizard of Oz. What did he say? What did he say? I can't keep up with him. Whereas the Reverend Al Sharpton could talk fine for me. We are going to be talking today about the latest antics in the Donald Trump White House. I can keep up with him. He's fine. But Chris Evans talks too fast. Anyways, I mentioned that because it was like, bang, I was on the floor. Like, what happened? I know I fell because I'm on the floor and I heard the noise and I'm a little bit sore, but I don't know what happened. I know that the milk crates disengaged somehow and down I fell. So, but it was kind of weird because it was like, it happened just like that. And I have no recollection of in between standing there and lying on the floor. Anyways, that's one dumb thing I've done lately. Here's another dumb thing. I've had these little blackheads over here on the side of my head, and they're nothing. They're nothing. They're nothing. They don't disfigure my face, but I know that they're there, and they bug me. And I know you're not supposed to squeeze to get them out because you can cause scarring and disfigure your face. You can make your face worse rather than better. They're over on my temple, and I have 3 of them. I bought this device. Well, let me go get it. I'll show it to you. Okay, this is what I got, this little device. I got it on Amazon. A little expensive. It was around $50 if I remember correctly. It's kind of a little vacuum thing. And it works well if the pores are open. Like some people get blackheads on their nose, and they can turn this on and kind of very carefully go over their nose. And it might take 6 or 8 treatments before you finally get things cleaned out. And they warn you that it's going to cause some bruising because there is suction involved. It's kind of like getting a little hickey. You know what a hickey is. It pulls blood to the surface. But what do you do if if the blackhead is like grown over and the skin is over the top, so that it's got this, well, you got to get it open somehow. And using a hot compress to open your pores, that's fine for open pore blackheads anyways, but not skin grown over. I knew I had to open them up somehow, but I didn't want to pick at it. I didn't know what to do. It works, but I don't recommend this at all, at all, at all. I knew I had to take that skin off very carefully just to get down, get it open. See, that's the one that actually shakes my house, that noise. I used a Dremel. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's like I'm going to have lunch with my friend today whose girlfriend is a nurse, and I'm going to tell him about this. And when he tells her, she's going to say, and that's why hospitals have emergency rooms. So anyways, what I did was I didn't do very much. I just these little, just touch the top of the just touch it, just to take off enough skin. Didn't hurt, right? Didn't hurt. And I wasn't, carving a 1/4-inch hole in my face, just to get the skin off. And when I could see that it was getting good and dark, that means I was down to the part that I needed to get out. And then between using this and using a little bit of squeezing, I was able to clean those pores out and get those blackheads out. Again, they weren't disfiguring. This could have been far more disfiguring, but anyways, that's just some of the this and that stuff that's been happening lately. Thanks for listening.